Hello again. I'm Pastor Terrell Brinson, and thanks for tuning in to my talk show, A Voice, where men and women of all ethnic backgrounds come together and share their visions, their dreams, their goals, as well as their entrepreneurial accomplishments. And tonight, I'm honored to have as my guest Miss Melinda Porter. Miss Porter, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm just fabulous. Thank you. So good to have you here tonight to help encourage our audience, inspire our audience, if they have dreams or goals, to just keep pushing. If they'll just keep pushing, it's evident from where you are right now in your business that they can be successful. Now, you are an entrepreneur. You've started a business. What's the name of your business?
Well, the name of my business is Major Scale Studios.
Major Scales.
Major Scales.
Okay, and what is that?
Well, we're a studio. We're a teaching facility where we teach people how to play different instruments.
Okay.
We have piano lessons, we have guitar lessons, voice lessons, and trumpet lessons currently.
Okay.
We hope to expand in the future, but that's what we have right now.
Yes.
Our lessons are given every day of the week, from Monday through Saturday. We are closed on Sundays.
Okay. Yes.
But most of our classes are given every day. Only class we have that's not every day is the voice lesson, and that's on Tuesdays and Saturdays. But all the other classes are there.
Okay, and what time of the day? Early morning, evening, afternoon?
Primarily, the lessons are given in the afternoon because the majority of our clientele are kids, and so we pretty much stay in that area of the day.
Yes.
We do offer midday classes as well, and on Saturdays we're open from 9 until 3.
Okay. Okay, so right now the majority of your clientele, you say, are young kids.
The majority are young. We do have adult students. All instruments. It doesn't really matter which instrument, but we do have adult students that take from us as well. And our adult students can start from college age to as old as whatever. We don't have a limit to cut off and say that you can't do it above a certain age.
Yes.
A lot of adults do call and they say, well, do you teach someone that's my age, or do you teach an old person? We teach everyone.
Yes.
And of course we teach the youth as well, and we start as young as 4 and a half, and going up from there. We have several programs for them. The 4 and a half year olds are led totally to piano only,
Yes.
and the 5-year-olds and the 6-year-olds. And then after that, we try to encourage people to wait until the child is at least 7 or 8 before putting them on guitar. And then trumpet is usually about 9 years old, and that's usually for the breath control that's needed, and also to hold the instrument correctly. So there are age limits sometimes in small ways, but for the most part everything is kind of laid out to benefit the child.
Well, I'm just 53, so I was glad to hear you say that, because listen, I have just desired over the years to be able to play the keyboard. Now I'm a songwriter, but when I write songs, I hear the music, but I just never could go play the music. So one of my dilemmas have always been that I would hear the music in my mind. I would write the song, and then I've got the task of going to find somebody that can play, and I sing to them what I've written, but it never fails that I end up having to now kind of like rearrange my song a little bit to fit what they thought they heard that I was saying. and so much, unless you got some just awesome musicians that just really got that ear and can really pick you up, and unless you're able to explain to them what you really hear, it's kind of difficult to always get your song out the way it was in your heart.
Yeah, it is, and that's the unfortunate thing about not knowing all the aspects of music, having part of it but not all of it.
Yes.
So you're kind of at the other person's will
That's
to get
right.
it the way that you want it to be.
Exactly.
With our students, what we do is we do teach composition classes and we do teach theory classes. So we teach them how to understand the concept of music, not just play, because playing is only part of it. Yes. But understanding what you're playing is the other part of it. And so we do teach theory, yes. And we do have composition classes, and we do have the younger students to do festivals and competitions, so that they're more well-rounded as musicians and not one-sided.
Okay, so you cater to all ethnic backgrounds.
Right. Yeah, right.
No one is restricted from coming if they have a desire.
Goodness, no, because that's almost to do something of that nature, yes. which is odd, I would think.
Yes, that's right.
To only say that I only listen to one style of music, yeah. or one genre of music.
That's right.
And my ears, I'm sorry, I listen to various types of music, from yes. Classical to yeah. Gospel to yeah. Latin jazz to country music, and people yes. are country. Yeah, I'll listen to country music. Yeah, so
that's right.
It doesn't matter to me if it's a good song, it has a good vibe, it yes. has a good structure.
Yes.
Then I'm probably going to be drawn to it. Yes. And so yes, we cater to all.
Well, that's awesome, and I know you're going to do good. I hadn't known you long, but I know you're going to do real good because of your personality and all. But let me ask, out of all of the desires that you could have had to start a business, why music? Why major scales? Why this?
Oh, that's a big question. Why music? I was brought up doing music. My parents had me in lessons at a young age. Yes. My sister played or plays.
Yes.
My mom played a little bit. My dad, he plays guitar a little bit. So everybody dabbled in it in one way or the other. Yes. Right. Yeah. So it was around me no matter what. Why I decided to go into teaching, I think I fought it a little bit because I don't know, I just did. Okay. But the thing is, my parents taught. My mom taught elementary education. My dad taught vocational school. My sister ended up teaching. She fought it too, wow. But she ended up teaching. My brother's teaching now. He's working on his PhD. So we're all teachers in one way or another, yes. and so it just made sense to put it together, and to share what you know to someone else. And
yes.
and that's the benefits of teaching for me, is when I'm explaining a concept to a student and it's like they're not getting it, yeah. but then you see that light bulb, that moment when they get it, and it makes you feel so good on the inside. It's like, yes, I got it, and they got it too.
Yes.
So that's just a really good feeling.
Wow. Well, look, I would love to have that moment. You know what? I think I may have to come and start taking lessons at your place. I'm serious. I would love to play two instruments that I've always desired playing. That was the keyboard and the bass guitar.
Oh, look here.
I just love the bass, love the keyboard. The keyboard would just really enhance my writing ability, I feel like. But as always, when you're talking about something constructive, and especially if you're having fun doing it, the time will run out on you. So what we're going to do now, we're going to prepare to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to talk again with Miss Melinda Porter and let her encourage your heart. We'll be right back.
For more inquiries about Major Scales Studios, call 601-922-0110 or log on to their website at majorscales.net or email majorscales@aol.com. Pastor Terrell Brinson is a gospel recording artist and pastor of Grateful Ministries International, Brookhaven, Mississippi. For more inquiries about church services and time, CDs, acquisition, and to be a guest on a voice, call 601-757-6601 or email tbrinson4@comcast.net.
We're back. I'm your host, Terrell Brinson, and my guest tonight is Miss Melinda Porter. Miss Porter, you were expounding upon your business where you you have instructors, and do you teach yourself?
I teach myself, yes.
Okay, you teach, and you have people working for you that also teach.
Right, right.
Okay.
I teach piano and trumpet.
Yes, yes.
I have another instructor who teaches guitar, but also beginner piano.
Okay.
And I have another piano teacher, obviously, who teaches piano.
Okay.
And
okay.
then we have a voice teacher. And so that's all the teachers that we have on our roster right now.
Okay, okay. And you were talking about mom and dad and siblings all playing some instrument or the other.
Right.
And that's pretty much what helped you make the decision to start this profession opposed to other.
Well, yeah, it actually, the story came when I was going to a music store in my hometown of Meridian. And it kind of began from there.
Okay.
And so I was teaching there for, 10 years, I think.
Okay.
And then later moved to Jackson. And at the time I was doing something else, kind of in the same area, but not really. And through divorce, I eventually had to kind of reestablish myself. And anyone who's been through that knows that sometimes you have to kind of start over. So when I started over, I had a handful of students and basically built the business from there. And it was just me at first.
Okay.
And you know, when you're starting small in your own business, you know, you can't. Sometimes, if you have the financial backing, you can just go all in. Well, for me, it wasn't that way, and I had to balance it between another job and this business until I got established and could bring it up to where it is now. And eventually I hired other teachers to come in, kind of almost like over a year time. Then another year's time I added someone else. And until we are where we are today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. Then at least you're persistent in it. You didn't let past circumstances and situations stop you. But let me ask. Okay, just like when. Okay, how long is the course? How long is these course? I mean, is it a period of time and then they get an award or something for passing this class, or how does that work?
Well, for the students, we do set goals for them or tiers for them to master, so that they can see, you know, where they are, where they came from to where they are. Sometimes we do recordings for them so they can see, because sometimes they don't see the progress. So we give them recordings so they can hear what they did a while back compared to what they are now. It's like, oh wow, you know, I really have grown.
Audio or video?
Right.
Audio.
Well, actually both.
Okay.
So mostly audio, but sometimes we do video.
Okay, that's
the other things that we do is we have recitals for the youth, and we have 2 a year. One in the fall and one in the spring. And so definitely they can see their progression from the fall semester until the spring semester. And our upcoming recital is on May 20th. So we're going to kind of see what they can do at that point.
Okay, now where is that going to be held?
The May recital is going to be held at Our Redeemer Lutheran Church, and it's in Clinton. It's on Clinton Raymond Road.
Clinton Raymond Road, Our Redeemer Lutheran Church.
Right, right.
Clinton Raymond. I know where that's at.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Good.
Okay, then.
Good.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So I guess I was going to ask you about events and performances throughout the year. I guess this would pretty much.
Well, this is not all. This is what we do within the studio itself to promote the kids, and so that they can, like I said, see their own progression.
Yeah. But
they have many other opportunities to challenge themselves. We participate in several festivals in this area. The Sonatina Sonata Festival, the Duet Fest, the Bach Festival, the Mississippi Federation of Music Club Festival, which I'm the state junior counselor of that organization. And the MMTA, which I'm a member. MMTA is the Mississippi Music Teachers Association. And so they don't necessarily have to do all of those, but we encourage them to do at least 2 a year, so that they can see their progression and also become challenged, and also set deadlines and meet those deadlines. So they can see their growth and their potential.
That's so awesome. You know, I'm always impressed whenever I bring on guests that that their business is people. I'm always impressed. I mean, you know, it's okay now to start have a store. And, you know, that's your business. That's fine, whatever your business is. But I've had a number of guests that come on and their business is people. And like your business, you're actually sowing back into these young people as well as older adults what the Lord has given you. Right. You're sowing it back into them, and as a result, He's going to bless you financially, because a laborer is worthy of his hire. So you'll always be blessed, and you hadn't seen anything yet. But yeah, okay, you're doing a great work there. But I'm excited because to learn how to play, there's a shortage right now of musicians. Churches everywhere are looking for musicians.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And you're doing a great work.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah,
well,
that's great.
Thank you.
Okay. So now the location where you're over on Highway 18.
We're located on Highway 18. We're 1 mile from Interstate 20, so we're very easy to find. And you know, if anyone has a little trouble, they can always give us a call and call our studio. And we're also located on. We also have a website. I actually designed the website, so.
Okay.
And they can go to majorscales.net and look up information there, and we usually have a map so they can find us.
Okay, give us that website again.
It's www.majorscales.net.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and the phone number?
The phone number is 601-922-0110.
Okay, see, a lot of people know where this barbecue place is right on 18.
On Sylvester's.
Yeah, Sylvester's right
We're getting a plug for Sylvester right now.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And so you're right in that plaza right next to Sylvester's right there.
Right.
Going west.
Going west,
Going
west. Right. West on
Okay.
18. So we're right next door. So follow the smoke.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, listen, I was going to ask you now, is it complicated to learn to play the keyboard? I mean, you know, I've got a desire. But how long would it take me to learn to play the keyboard?
You know, we get that question a lot about how long it takes to learn a specific instrument. And unfortunately, we can't just rubber stamp an answer for everybody, because everybody doesn't have the same experiences.
Okay.
What the length it takes for a child is not the length it takes for a teenager, which is not the length it takes for an adult.
Okay.
And then you have to look at how much exposure a person has had.
Okay.
But I will say this. If you're persistent and if you have an open mind and you don't have, I call it the McDonald's syndrome, where you think you're going to run in and get it and get out.
Oh, wow.
We can work with you.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
so at age 53, if I've got a positive mindset and if I'm willing to work hard, you can actually teach me.
I can teach you.
To play.
I can teach you to
chord and do the chords and stuff, so I can enhance my writing ability.
Exactly. Right.
That's awesome.
And teach you theory, because that's part of it too.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Seriously, I'm going to probably take you up on that. Listen, we're going to take another break, but when we come back, we're going to continue to talk with Miss Melinda Porter about her work that she's doing at Major Scale Studio on Highway 18. We'll be right back.
For more inquiries about Major Scale Studios, call 601-922-0110 or log on to their website at majorscales.net or email majorscales@aol.com.
We're back. I'm your host, Terrell Brinson, and my guest tonight is Miss Melinda Porter. She's the owner of Major Scale Studio, located on Highway 18. Miss Porter, yeah, you've really blessed us tonight as it relates to how you are pouring into not only your young students, but your students of all ages, and you've got a staff that's set up to teach. You said piano lessons. You do horn, trumpet, and that kind of thing, and you also do guitar.
Right, guitar and voice.
And voice.
And voice, right.
Okay. Now, all right. Well, I want to learn how to play the bass.
Okay.
I want to play the bass, and I want to play the keyboard.
Gotcha.
Okay, so how long before you started your business did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
I'll say it like this. I was already teaching in Meridian.
Okay.
And had been teaching there for a few years out of a local store there. And I think about 7 or 8 years into it,
Okay.
I started getting these ideas of establishing my own place. I never did anything. It was just an idea at that point. But I would think about it in the back of my mind. Oh, I could do this, or I could do that. But it wasn't until I moved here that I actually put it into place. But again, I had to start out very, very small, just by myself, build up a clientele, mostly through word of mouth, eventually, you know, doing some marketing to get my name established, and then going from there. And again, it wasn't just pulling, you know, different people into work. It's mostly pulling in one, and then working in a relationship with that one person, and then pulling in another person. So I'm gradually doing this. So nothing was ever just like a firestorm for me. But it was little by little.
Okay, so in other words, what I hear you're saying is that you started dreaming, even when you were in Meridian.
Right.
That's what it was with Joseph in the Bible. He had a dream, and there were, you know, family members that got upset with him about his dream. But even before you got in a position to start hiring people, that dream, I wanted to ask you, what type of advertisement did you use, and how did you work that to get your name out there?
At first, again, it was word of mouth. And it depended upon your clients to send you referrals from other clients. Eventually, it became flyers, and, you know, just very, very basic. Yeah, just basic. Basic marketing strategies, and eventually, you know, advertising in different newspapers and magazines that are in the area, and putting our name out that way. And then establishing, you know, building a logo, or if you can say a brand, because in this business, it's not so much that you're building a strong brand name, but it's more of a service industry type situation. But those are the things that I did early on. I will say this, for anyone who's doing small business, if they haven't gotten on the internet and done their business that way, they really should. When I first got started, a lot of the calls would come in from saying people saw the ad in the phone book. Oh, I saw you in the phone book. And over time, I noticed they're not saying that anymore. They're saying, I saw your website. I saw I Googled you. And so that's primarily how a lot of the businesses are coming in. You rarely get people saying that they heard or they read you or saw your name in the telephone book. It's kind of almost becoming ancient. So, I got you. So it's like the last go-to item that people use. And so between that and advertising in a local magazine and a newspaper here or there when we have done ads, those are the other ways that people have found out about us. Wow, that's great. That's great. And even for those that are not computer literate, but still have a dream, a word of mouth will always work, as well as flyers and maybe even getting business cards printed up. There's something, I guess what I'm trying to let our audience know, there's something that you can do even with a small budget to at least get started, opposed to not doing anything because you don't have the budget. Now, I heard you say at the beginning of the show that you know, there are those that start off and they already got the wealth established, the wealth is laid aside, so they can just take off with it. But it wasn't like that with you. You were working like another job, and doing the music, but you had this dream, and so you just kept it going, and right now you've been blessed to be able to not only not just have to do this business yourself, you employ people, which is a blessing, that you give other people jobs. So the employees or workers that I have that come in, they provide the services to the people that we have, and of course I refer them whatever instrument they're interested in. I refer those clients to those teachers. We try our best to make sure that those clients can have their times together, especially if a parent comes in with 2 children, and but each child wants to take a different instrument.
Yes.
So we try our best to make sure that the parent is not having to drive 2 days out of a week to come to lessons, and we try to put them side by side, or just a little off from each other, so that it's like one-stop shop, I guess.
Yes.
On the same day.
That's great. Now your instructors, the people that work for you, how did you go about hiring them? I mean, did you resume, or how did you find them?
Well, on our website, we have a place where if anyone is interested, that they can submit their resumes to us. And that is one way. Another way, I have put out flyers at different colleges and gotten people or interest to come in from that way also. So those are primarily the 2 ways that I have advertised. And once you have a good person, a good teacher that works with you, or works with you in the studio, you're really not going out to seek other people, because you built a relationship with that person, and you know how they're going to teach, and you know that they're going to get the results.
Yes.
So you're not going to have a high turnover.
Okay.
But you do have to establish yourself and with that person, and kind of let them spread their wings too.
That's great. That's great. Listen, I wanted to ask you, the economy. A few years back we were in the midst of a recession, and I just heard, I believe today on the radio, that Mississippi has, done a good bit of hiring. In other words, the unemployment rate is down, and that's a good thing. So, did the economy affect your business at all over the last few years?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not a bad effect, but you could see the effect of this economy coming in from the standpoint of people maybe coming in for, especially adult students, coming in for a moment, taking classes, and then something comes up. A husband, in one case, a husband lost their job, and she says, well, that was my extra money. So she took time off. Or a college student saying, well, gas is going up, and I can't manage this. Can I take some time off? But the thing is, when you have a little leniency in your policy, you can get those people to come back, and they do come back.
That's great. But in our last few seconds, I want you to look in that camera and tell our guests how to contact you. Give them your name and all of your information so that they can contact you.
Sure, no problem. You can contact us at Major Scales Studios. You can call our studio at 601-922-0110, or you can visit us on the web by going to www.majorscales.net. And
I'm once again your host, Terrell Brinson, and thanks for tuning in to our talk show entitled A Voice, where we hope that you've heard something that will inspire you to keep pressing, keep going after your goal. For the Bible says in Mark 11:24, therefore I say unto thee, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. Have a good night.